So, talking about your sports bets for today. We'll be talking about your MLB, we'll be talking about your WNBA, and we'll be talking about some of your prize picks as well. Very easy bets here. If you've been seeing my recent videos and you are beginner videos, you already know how to place your bets and all that good stuff like that. So we'll skip you the extra details and just give you the plays here, okay? So first we have your Red Sox to win. Remember, if you see it to win or if you see the money line, all you have to do is go find your one main section up there that literally says winner. Very easy, very simple. Here you have Red Sox to win, Astros to win, Yankees to win. We're looking for Red Sox to win, Astros to win, and Yankees to win. Find your section there, and then you go ahead and just throw all of those on fast, real quick. And then towards the end of this, I'll show you how to actually what the odds mean, and how to understand the different amounts that you are using. And so on and so forth. Again, make sure that you do remember, no matter what you do, don't use an amount of money that you aren't comfortable with using. Use 15, 30% of your betting portfolio or whatever you got to do to keep yourself in play. Here, okay, so we did just place all of ours. All of these are money lines: Red Sox, Astros, Yankees, and Braves. Notice how we now have our 4-bet parlay. You can bet on all those as a whole. I don't know how much money you like to wager around us, so you probably just only betting maybe like $2,000 if you're just a beginner or something like that. But you don't, and then notice that that'll come out to about 14, almost $15,000 based off of different odds. But some people would rather go in and place those individually. So you only betting with $2,000. You probably only putting 400 on there, 500 on the Yankees because the Yankees is your favorite team. You probably putting like another 500 on the Astros, and then you probably throwing whatever the rest is you got left over on your main team. Of course, in this case, we're speaking of, for example, if you know your teams. Okay, so like after you've been betting for so long, most people, if you notice here, as we do our updates every day, we're seeing the same stuff, right? Money lines for this team, strikeouts for that team, this team to hit these many bats, that team to get over these many points, and so on and so forth. For example, and we do update them as well, letting you know what our scores were and stuff like that for the next day. And so what I'm saying here is that you really get used to it. You get used to making your Red Sox bet every time the Red Sox play. You get used to betting on the Braves every time the Braves play, so on and so forth. And then you get used to those different odds on those teams as you go day by day. So I recommend maybe you only, I don't know, like I say, just use an amount that you feel comfortable risking until you start to recognize your teams and recognize your players and so on and so forth. And in any case, you probably already know your teams and your players if you're already getting into that bet, but nothing's wrong with being a beginner. Here you got some WNBA picks. The Indiana, the Fever at the Storm, the Sparks at the Sky, Dream at Seattle. Notice how these bets here, they not about just one team winning. These are some more you got to go into your deeper wagers there. So I'm gonna show you how to place these to avoid any confusion. Indiana Fever versus the Seattle Storm. You got your Indiana Fever versus the Seattle Storm. You got to go to your more wagers that there. And then you got to go find Skylar Diggins over 5.5 assists and Kelsey Mitchell for over 16 points. So we're gonna go for player props in this specific case. This game doesn't start till tonight, so you got plenty of time to do whatever it is that you got to do. We got Diggins over 5.5. Boom, simple, just like that. And then you got Kelsey Mitchell over 16 points. You're gonna have to go back to player props. You're gonna go to points. Boom, you're gonna find your Kelsey Mitchell over 16.5 points. Notice how those points um and whatnot and the odds and all that stuff like that match up. You want to match up your points. Make sure that you're matching up your odds as well. The odds are going to change when the game starts. So, like, even if that thing is even still available, when the game, after the game start, then those odds will be a little bit different. So your money is going to come out a little bit different than what I'll be showing you here in this lesson. Okay, but next you got Sparks versus the Sky. Hamby over 15.5 points. You're gonna have to go back down to your player props. Or you gotta go back to your WNBA, okay, you're gonna go simply find Sparks versus the Sky. Click on your more wagers. Go to your player props. You're gonna click on points. We were looking at Hamby, I believe. Dearica Hamby over 15.5 points. Boom, right there, just like that. Now notice how as we done placed all these, your 4 bet done turned into a 7 bet parlay. You may still wager on all of those as a whole. Like I said, maybe you only betting with your if you're a newer better, maybe you only using about $2,000, $3,000. Boom, if they all hit, you just made about $100,000. That's why sports betting is so extremely popular because you make an insane amount of money in your sports bets if they win. That's if. Okay, so just make sure that you always keep that in mind that anything can happen. You never know, anything can happen. You might even have somebody that Lord forbid, of course, end up getting injured or something like that. Anything can happen at any given time that changes up everything. We got Austin 7.5 rebounds. Austin, over 7.5 rebounds. That's an 8 bet parlay. And then last on your list, you got Dream versus Dallas, Gray and Buckners over points and over assists. Very simple, as you can see. It's not that hard to find these. It's not that hard to place them. All you gotta do is just really match up your teams and your numbers. And remember, these are all bets that you do be getting along in your banking with Billy Discord, where we put out all of our sports bets. As you see, these are updated every single day. So like, if I'm not making the video that day, you're like, man, where's Billy at, man? What's going on? I need to know what the move is, so on and so forth. Well, you can easily go in there and just make sure that you are in there seeing that on time. Okay. And as you know, these are upgraded things. Make sure you activate your free trial and whatnot as well. Okay. And so for your prize picks. I'm not gonna waste your time diving too deep into these because these are fairly extremely simple and self-explanatory. You got a judge to get over point 0.5 hits. That's one hit. A judge to get one hit. Witt Jr. to get one hit. Ohtani to get over one hit, and hey Marte to get at least one hit. Those are very simple, very self-explanatory, so I won't waste your time going too deep into those, okay? But like I said, the easiest bets, very simple, very safe, very straightforward. These are based off of statistics for the best probable wins, and like I say, we do as well. At the end of the day, it's update what the gainers and what the winners and so on and so forth are, so you can be for your studies if you are new to know that we are in there along with you and following along. And if you ever got any questions, you could join me along in our sports betting live classroom where we in there doing our live sports betting all day, every day. I'll see y'all in there. In happy trade.